Live, me and Rose Rants back on the live stream. This time, we're going to talk about something different. I don't think we've done an NBA video together. I don't think me and you have ever talked about the NBA, really.
No. And there was a time when I could have been, rocking with you on this. I am the last 8 or 9 years. The NBA is a tough watch for me now, but for the sake of this list, a lot of the people we want to talk about, I watched a hell of a lot of their games.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I understand why you wouldn't want to watch some of the NBA now. I mean, everybody's into this load management thing, which I think is ridiculous to me. I mean, if you're healthy, you should be playing. Well, maybe unless it's like game 80 or 82 and you already got everything locked up.
I also come up in a time when the three-pointer was something special.
Yes. Okay. Honestly, I don't like, and I'm a Rockets fan. We shoot 50,000 threes a game. I cannot stand it.
The league, Steph Curry, let me just say it. Steph Curry's ruined the NBA for me.
Yeah.
Boom.
Because for me, yes, he's the greatest shooter of all time, but if he played by 1990s rules, he wouldn't be shooting that many threes. He'd be hurt.
Well, if he played in 1993, he'd be Danny Ainge.
Yeah, and Danny Ainge was a really good three-point shooter.
Oh, a sniper.
Dan Marley, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thunder Dan. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And we got a Hammer here. Says, what's up, guys? NBA is my jam. Well, you're going to like this one because we got some...
What's up, Hammer? Good to see him.
We got some major problems with this Bleacher Report all-time NBA list.
Who the hell let Bleacher Report have any say anyway? When did they become so prominent in the news cycle?
I have no idea.
It's just happened all at once. Like the last year, I'm like, the Bleacher Report? What?
Yeah. I mean, did they just do this list for shot value?
Well, where they built their cred was when they stole Rick Bucher from the ESPN. And he was a very knowledgeable NBA guy, an insider.
Yeah, he was.
And a respected one. So that's where they sort of built their cred, was around Rick Bucher. I think he's with FS1 now, but I don't know.
I don't remember. Razvan here, coming over from the Road Squadron channel and my channel also.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. What's your favorite team? Everybody, what's your favorite team? Drop it in the chat. Who's your favorite team? Obviously, I'm a Rockets fan. Who's your team, Rhodes?
Celtics.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
Hey, check this out. Let's do a rundown of how my geography lays out. I'm a Niners fan.
Okay.
I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan.
Okay.
I'm a Florida State fan.
Okay.
I'm a Duke basketball fan.
Ooh. See, I'm a Carolina.
Oh, snap.
I like Carolina.
God. I'm a Yankees fan. And I'm a Boston Celtics fan.
And that's weird considering you're from Texas. Because usually Texas people are very loyal to their Texas teams.
I used to always, even though we moved around a lot when I was a kid. I lived in like 13 different states by the time I was 10, even though technically I was from Texas.
Yeah. You're a military kid?
No, my dad worked construction.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Man, it's weird because obviously I'm a Houston Astros fan. Everybody sees me always rocking Astros hat, which I have right here. And I'm a Houston Rockets fan. And I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Are there some Texas teams that I'm kind of partial to? I like the Mavericks. And I like the Texans.
The Mavericks used to be a joke when I was a kid. Man, they were horrible. I mean, they were like LA Clippers horrible.
They had a couple players I loved, though. God, growing up. We'll wait for my boy to get his headphones situated. But growing up,
Rolando Blackman.
I loved Derek Harper and Roy Tarpley.
I remember Derek Harper. I mean,
Tarpley was always getting busted for cocaine, but when he played, he was a dominant force.
Yeah.
He was a dominant force.
And Derek Harper was on that Nets team that lost to the Rockets in the '94 finals.
That's right.
Yeah. But I always liked Derek Harper, though, man. He was a tough-nosed player. Sucks that he was stuck on those bad Mavericks teams. So.
And I wish the Knicks could get good.
The Knicks used to be really good.
It's a sad state. The NBA needs the Knicks to be good again.
The problem is, you remember the Knicks traded Patrick Ewing like in 2000, 2001, something like that?
Yep.
And they had really been trash most of the time ever since then. They have been LA Clippers horrible. That's how bad it is. I mean, the Clippers are well run now.
I was going to say, yeah, they wish they was the LA. The Knicks wish they were the Clippers. Damn.
Exactly. Hammer asks, do you guys think Westbrook as a bad shooter fits in a D'Antoni system? Now, D'Antoni he's an offensive genius, man. D'Antoni should make him more efficient, even though Westbrook isn't really an efficient player. That D'Antoni system has made a lot of guys look really good. I mean, he took Steve Nash. Steve Nash, before D'Antoni got to him, he was an okay player. No, he wasn't nothing special. Got in the D'Antoni system, turned him into a 2-time MVP, even though Shaq should have got one of those MVPs from him.
I sense a little Steve Nash is overrated coming from you right now.
I always thought he was overrated.
Canada's weeping.
Oh, well.
He don't even want to live up there. He don't even want to live up there. It's funny.
They'll just have to deal with it, man.
How do you feel? Let's take off Hammer from a second or go off his question. What was your initial response to Westbrook landing on your team?
Tell you the truth, I was like, okay, Chris Paul is a declining asset. Russell Westbrook is a significant upgrade over Chris Paul. But I am concerned how him and James Harden are going to fit together. Because James Harden, this is his team. James Harden, we're not going to go anywhere unless James Harden is our best player. But I don't know, man. I mean, those guys are pretty good in OKC together with KD. I think Westbrook is going to have to take a step back. I'm not saying he can't have one of those games where, he just explodes. But for one thing, I don't want him getting 10 rebounds a game. We have Clint Capella to handle the boards. If he's trying to come over here and get a triple-double, it's not going to work. I don't care about rebounds for guards. I really don't.
I will tell you this. I think Oklahoma City chose poorly between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. I would have kept Durant at all cost.
Yeah, me too.
And shipped Westbrook the hell out of town at record speed.
Yeah.
I am not a Westbrook guy. The guys that feel like me guys, me guys, no. And which is so tough in this day and age because there's so many of these guys playing sports now that are me guys, but I like my point guards to distribute the ball and not worry about taking so many shots. It's one of my problems with the game right now is, I came up in the time of John Stockton and, John Starks. I mean, true point guards, guys that distributed the ball out to your playmakers, right?
Right.
And, point guards are now, they are different. They're full athletes now, you know. I still think your shooting guard should be your big dog, Michael Jordan,
Right.
in other words, So I don't know. That's why me and the league struggle right now,
Okay.
is the way the game's played now.
I got you. Okay, man. You ready to jump into this list?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me go ahead and I'm going to screen share this. And we will go ahead and let me get on the tab. I guess that would help. Look at this list here. I don't know if we need to go through every single one here. And can you keep an eye on the chat too, Rhodes? Because I can't see it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Bleacher Report lists their all-time top 50 NBA players of all time. This list is atrocious, to say the least.
Are you supposed to be showing the list right now? Because it's not showing.
what do you see?
It's screen shared us.
Oh, my bad.
Hold
on.
Oh, I like that little wider view there. There we go.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. So they list their top 50 NBA players of all time. It's pretty bad. The top 9, not so much. Not so much whatsoever. I don't even think we really even need to talk about that. But there are some major problems with this list. Don't you agree, Rhodes?
Yeah. Now, you don't think Shaq should be as high, I think, right?
But it doesn't bother me, though.
I'm comfortable with Shaq being where he's at. He was a dominant center. I mean,
yeah, he's in that ballpark. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Just just so you know, Shaq is number 6. So if you think he's number 8, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But some of these are so blasphemous, it's insane. Now, the first one, as we go down this list. Now, first of all, they have all these honorable mentions. Kyle Lowry, you see Kyle Lowry here? Kyle Lowry is not even top 100 player. So I don't even know why they hit this thing. I don't even know why they even put him on here as an honorable mention. Andre Kirilenko? Come on, man. Really?
What the F is that? Allen Iverson not being on the list.
Is he on the honorable mentions?
He's on the honorable mentions.
Okay.
And I'm not a me guy, but that's crap. He's a top 50 player all time.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just some of these honorable mentions. Sean Merriman? No.
Bob McAdoo's not in the top 50?
No. Paul Millsap, honorable mention. Come on.
What? Robert Parrish not in the top. Gary Payton's not in the top.
Gary Payton should easily be in the top 50.
Easily.
Definitely should be in the top 50.
I agree.
Now, Tony Parker is not in the top 50. I agree with that. But there's a major problem with this. We'll get to it. Dominique.
Jack Sigma is in the... Are they kidding?
Yeah. Arvydas Sabonis, honorable mention. Arvydas Sabonis came to the NBA when he was 700 years old.
Yep.
No way in the world should he even get consideration for this list. So Robert Parrish out of the top 50. Now remember, in 1996, the NBA had its all-time top 50 players. Parrish was on the list.
Yep.
Dominique was on the list.
Yep.
Let's see who else is on this list. I think Chris Mullin was on the list too. I think.
Oh my God, Chris Mullin's not in the top 50.
No, he's not there. Which I don't have a problem with him not being in the top 50.
Well,
he's a really good shooter.
And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking from the perspective of somebody that watched during that time period. And Chris Mullin was definitely one of the best players in the league at the time. You know, so I get that. I get that. Hammer says if Michael Jordan isn't number one, then the list is wrong.
Jordan is number one. They didn't go super crazy. But my question is, since you got guys on here like Kyle Lowry, where's Yao Ming at? Yao Ming should be on this honorable mentions list then. I mean, you going to put Sean Merriman on here?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where did I see that? Scroll up just a hair. Oh my God, I could have swore I saw somebody on there that my face literally almost just
Vlade Divac?
Vlade Divac?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I saw another one that just popped out like a sore thumb. I just was like, why is this guy even? Oh, here it is. Elton Brand.
I know.
Elton Brand.
He got consideration.
Honorable mention for what? Best Clippers of all time?
Where's Pooh Richardson then?
Oh man!
Wow! You know what? This is borderline blasphemy right here.
George Mikan,
not in the top 50. He was the first NBA superstar, dominant player. They changed all the rules because he was just too dominant. Now that's really amazing right there, considering they have old players on this list. So let's go down here.
Dominique let me know, Wilkins not being on. Get out of here.
Let me know when something kind of sticks out to you.
Okay.
Rick Barry. Don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. It's right there.
Yeah.
Elvin Hayes. Okay.
Yeah, I can deal with that. Hammer says Kyle Lowry. No. Walt Frazier.
Clive Frazier. All right. That's about right. Bit problem right here.
Way too low.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, he should be top.
Way too low.
He should be top 25.
He should be top 25 easily. Probably within the top 20.
Yeah,
this guy was the greatest little man to ever play the game. I know people are going to say Allen Iverson. No, this guy was dominant. Remember, he scored 25 points in the fourth quarter on one leg in the NBA Finals.
Far superior all-around player and defensive talent compared to Allen Iverson.
Yes.
And a bulldog. He was a killer on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But too bad he blew out his Achilles when Achilles back then, it was over. It was a death sentence. Your career was over.
Yeah.
So he's way too low. We agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, you're going to have a bit problem with this one. Paul Gasol.
You got Paul Gasol on the list, but Dominique Wilkins is on the outside looking in. Get the hell out of here with that.
In what universe is Paul Gasol better than Isaiah Thomas?
Hey, in what universe is he better than George Mikan?
Exactly.
That didn't even make the list.
Bingo.
Are they nuts?
Yeah. Paul Gasol, not even in the same league as Isaiah Thomas. Not even close.
To me, he would be arguable for honorable mention. Arguable. Okay.
I don't even think he's honorable mention. I think Paul Gasol, he probably would struggle to make my top 75.
He might make my top 100. Maybe.
Yeah. I think he'd be in the top 100. I think he will. All right. The Iceman, George Gervin.
Yeah.
Not a problem right there.
Good.
But Isaiah Thomas was better than him. But we already kind of established that Isaiah should be in top 25. All right. Ray Allen, number 44. I don't know about Ray Allen being in the top 50. I don't think I would probably have to put him outside the top 50. I think.
God, as a Celtics fan, I love Ray, but I probably agree with you on that.
All-time great shooter.
In other words, as a Celtics fan, I would have Robert Parrish ahead of Ray Allen.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, the original big three, Bird, McHale, Parrish.
Yeah. He did hit the biggest shot in NBA history, though.
Hey, Hammer agrees with you about Olajuwon is the GOAT of all centers.
Good call. We'll get to that too because I have a problem with where Akeem is. Not necessarily the ranking per se, but you'll see. All right. Number 43.
I don't have a problem with this at all.
I got a problem. Reggie Miller is not a top 50 NBA player.
You're smoking nine kinds of dope, man.
No. First off,
I'd put him in my top 25 probably.
You know, Reggie Miller only made 5 All-Star teams. He played 18 years, 5 All-Star teams. He didn't play any defense, and he had big clutch moments against the Knicks.
Yeah, he had some big moments.
Yeah, against the Knicks. If he did that against any other team, maybe, you know, I think he's a bit overrated.
He fought the Bulls tooth and nail too. I give him some credit on that. I'm just a big Miller guy, so I always have been. So I probably would actually have him a little higher. Just wondering, was Dan Marley anywhere to be seen?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think he's on there. But you would take Isaiah Thomas over Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Okay. Kawhi Leonard. Now, this is why I have a problem here. Excuse me. These current players, I don't really know where to rank them. So I would have rather them not put current players on this list because we don't really know where they're going to end up. Kawhi Leonard, how long has he been in the league? 7 years? Yeah, that's not enough of a body of work to really say where he should be. And I'm definitely not putting him above Isaiah Thomas right now. He has not had a better career than Isaiah. Let's just stop with that. So I don't know why they have him in the top 50 already. He hasn't done enough.
Hey, if you ask ESPN, they were arguing about him being one of the top 5 greatest players of all time earlier in the year. Yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah. It was during one of them Stephen A, Max Kellerman, blah, blah, blahs they got going on. You know,
Max Kellerman probably said something crazy.
Yeah, there's no telling with him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. All right. So number 41, Paul Pierce.
I'm fine with that as a Celtics fan. I'm good with that. He's a Bulldog.
I always thought he was a bit overrated. I mean, if you look at his career before he got the Big Three came together, he didn't lead them anywhere. He didn't lead them to any deep playoff runs.
Yeah, but
he's a big.
Let's not account that team was not strong for the majority of the time he was there.
They had Antoine Walker there before he got fat.
Oh,
Antoine Walker's a pretty good player.
We don't even consider him.
Yep.
He's not in Celtics history. So.
Yeah. Paul Pierce probably wouldn't make my top 50.
He would make mine. Yeah.
Okay.
As a Celtics fan, he would make mine. Yeah.
All right. Adrian Dantley.
For example, Paul Pierce would not be behind Adrian Dantley. I can tell you right now.
Okay. Now, Adrian Dantley, of course, I didn't see him. I know he was a tremendous scorer.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz player. So,
but if you've got Adrian Dantley, you've got to talk about guys like Bernard Smith from back in the day, who was an epic scorer. People don't forget, averaged 28 one year, 29 back when that meant something. And so Adrian Dantley being on this list is iffy for me. He might be in my honorable mention on the outside looking in.
You know what? I just thought of something, man. I've looked at this list. Maybe I missed this player. If this player is not on his top 50 list or the honorable mentions, this is blasphemy. Where's Moses Malone? I don't remember seeing him on the list.
Whoa, he's got to be on here.
He's got to be on there. All right, we'll go back and check it if he's not.
He's a top 30 player, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, he's got to be on here.
All right.
Hammer said Paul Pierce beat Kobe's ass. Yeah.
All right, Bill Walton. Now, Bill Walton was a great player before he had leg injuries and stuff like that. Number 39, this guy probably would have been top 10 if he never got injured. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Walton.
Yeah, he won MVP. He won the championship with the Blazers. And then, like it says here, injuries robbed the basketball world of a long career from one of the greatest passing bids of all time and the precursor to Jokic. Yes, it did. So I always kind of struggle where to rank Bill Walton because of that. But 39, I don't have a problem with it. All right, Patrick Ewing. Number 38.
I love Ewing, so I can't
Me too.
dispute this at all.
Yeah, it may be a tad bit low. To me.
Yeah, I mean, wait, whoa. Where's Larry Johnson at?
Grandmama?
He didn't make the top 75.
I don't remember seeing him on there.
Jesus, he was great for the Knicks and the Hornets.
He was great with the Hornets, the Knicks, and he was
He was a strong player on that team, though. Wow. Okay.
All right. The next one is the worst one on this list, guys. The worst. How many people we got watching Rhodes?
I have no idea.
Let me go over here real quick. Let me look real quick and see how many we got watching. All right, we got 4 people watching. All right.
Okay.
This one is horrible. Number 37. Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili should be nowhere near the top 50. He shouldn't even probably be in the top 75. Maybe the top 100. But in what world are you taking Manu Ginobili over Patrick Ewing, Bill Walton, Adrian Dantley, Paul Pierce, pretty much anybody on this list? This is utter blasphemy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Manu had a good career, but the top 50 is like people that had great careers. Manu Ginobili made 3 All-Star teams. I think he made 1 All-NBA third team once.
Third team, by the way.
This dude was never, ever one of the best guards in the league. And they have T-Mac on honorable mention. They have Allen Iverson on honorable mention. And they put Manu Ginobili on this list. This is the worst one on this list by far.
It's Spurs biasness. I told you before we came on, a couple of my buddies are Spurs fans. They swear to everything holy this guy's like a top 25 player of all time.
But here's the thing.
And they feel, I mean, they love Manu like they are, and they're triggered about it too, to use a phrase we're familiar with.
But check this out. The guy that's actually better than him is on the honorable mentions, Tony Parker. Tony Parker was a better player than Manu. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I don't know. I'm not a big Tony Parker guy. I'm not a Tony Parker guy. And of course, we'll eventually get to Tim Duncan, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where is Karl Malone at?
Oh, he's still coming up.
Okay. I was about to lose my mind over the mailman.
I'm still waiting to see Moses Malone myself.
Yeah.
So, and Manu Ginobili, never even close to being an MVP candidate. Not even close.
He wouldn't make my top 50.
He wouldn't make my top 75.
I don't think he would make my top 75. Well, in lieu of some of the people they got on there, yes. I mean, for example, Kyle Lowry. I'd take Manu every day in his prime over Kyle Lowry. Every day. Well, Kyle Lowry is one of those junk scorers. He's a junk scorer. That's all. You put him on a good team, you know, with like 2 other good players. He's like the third scorer on that team, you know.
All right. Russell Westbrook, 36. Now, like I said, these current players, I don't know where to really put them. So I'm going to just kind of ignore them right now.
Would I take Russell over Paul Pierce? God, no. 100 times no. And I know he plays on your team now, and it kind of sucks. I wish he was still with OKC because I'm kind of going light on the guy right now. Russell, yeah. I can let Steve Nash slide.
Steve Nash, he's a bit too high for me.
Yeah,
a bit too high. Isaiah is still that burns me. Isaiah 47, Steve Nash at 35. No, absolutely not. Steve Nash, a really good player, but no. 34, Kevin McHale. Don't have a problem with that.
Good.
He was a great low post player. 33, Jason Kidd. Still taking Isaiah over him, but at least he's in the top 50.
Yeah, we haven't even brought up my 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 favorite player of all time. I wonder where he is on this list. Holy
Let me know
gee.
when you get to it. So,
Okay.
all right. 32, Clyde the Glide Drexler, former Blazer, former Rocket, won the championship with the Rockets. Have you seen Clyde lately? I could see Clyde all the time because he does Rockets games. The man hasn't aged a day since he retired.
He had a receding hairline in '88, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's bald, but if you look at Clyde, he does the games with Bill Worrell and Matt Bullard. The man hasn't aged a day since
Hey,
he retired in '98.
he played on some highly um he played on some really interesting, strong Portland
Yeah,
Trailblazer teams with
those
Jerome
Trailblazers teams were
Kersey.
good.
Yeah, yeah, they were very good. They
They
played in the
just
wrong era.
they ran to the wrong teams.
That's right. That's right.
They did because they went to back-to-back NBA Finals, lost to the Pistons, and no, they. I think Clyde went to he lost to the Pistons, and he lost to the Bulls in '92. Clyde, very good player,
No.
right? Not too much problem where he's ranked. Dolph Shays. This is like way before my time, so
Yeah, might as
I
well be
don't know.
Dolph Lundgren to me. So.
I really, I think he played in 1940s, I think 50s. I don't know. Bob Pettit, another old guy.
Damn, 26 points a game. All
Yeah.
right.
But you also got to remember, 26 points a game back then. The possession, because he played against Bill Russell, the possessions were like double back then.
Yeah.
That's why Bill Russell averaged like 22 rebounds a game, because there was 6 million possessions a game. So
Wow.
if you took Bill Russell's numbers, because Bill Russell averaged 14 points and like 22 boards for his career. If you adjusted it for the way the game is today, he's more Dikembe Mutombo than anything. He's about a 9-point guy, 9-point guy, and about 12 boards.
Dikembe wasn't no punk, but
No.
he's not top 50 either.
No, he's on honorable mentions. John Stockton, number 29, great point guard. No problem with him.
One of the best. Yeah.
Yep. No problem with him. Great shooter, too. Chris Paul at 28. I think the reason why
some people are real high on Chris Paul.
Would you take him over John Stockton?
Not in 100 years or Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, John Stockton was he got a lot of steals, but Chris Paul was a great defensive player too. I don't know. That's kind of a coin flip.
If you ask a dude like Ryan Russillo, he would have Chris Paul way higher than this. He's a big Chris Paul guy.
Yeah. All right, James Harden. Like I said, current player. Not enough body of work to really justify ranking him anywhere. So,
man, he's got to win. He's got to win one. His legacy is now at stake.
He's in the prime of his career, man. He's really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's got the teammate for it now.
Yeah, 24 points a game, though, 6 assists, 5 boards. And really, since he's been with the Rockets, he's been closer to like 28 points a game.
I would have loved to have seen him and Durant stay in Oklahoma City.
Wow.
I think that'd have been a team, boy.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. John Havlicek.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah, good. About right. Scottie Pippen, number 25 on the list. Great defensive player.
I was going to say a defensive bulldog.
Yes. Can guard 4 positions. He couldn't guard centers back in his era. Even though he had that long wingspan, I mean, he wasn't guarding Patrick Ewing.
What number is he again?
Number 25.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't have a big problem with it. In today's NBA game, he can guard the centers because centers don't do anything. But back in his day, he wasn't guarding. He can guard 4 positions. He wasn't guarding all 5.
Yeah,
because nobody was guarding all 5 positions because the centers were just too great. Elgin Baylor, number 24, great player. No problem there. Oh, there he is, Moses Malone. I was getting worried,
Okay. It was
because
it was getting iffy. I was like,
I was getting worried, man. I was like, he's got to be up here somewhere.
yeah, he was a great one.
Great player for the Rockets. He took a 41-41 Rockets team in 1981 with the great Calvin Murphy, great free throw shooter, took them to the NBA Finals, and they lost to the Celtics in 6 games. And this is my favorite player as a kid growing up. Before MJ, there was the Doctor, Julius the Doctor Irving. And he did play half his career in the ABA. And I can only imagine what his numbers would look like if he was in the NBA all the time.
Do you think he's a little low?
Probably so. He's a bit low.
It seems like he'd be in the top 20.
I think people starting to forget how great he was.
Oh, he was
Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah. And look at his per game, 22 points a game. That's just his NBA stats.
Yep.
With his ABA stats, this guy was like 28 points a game, man. That guy was just great, man. Absolutely great. Where are we at now? D Wade at number 21. I struggle with D Wade.
I do too. Part of me says D Wade is undervalued. Part of me says he's overrated. So
I think he's a bit overrated.
You know,
he's a bit overrated, man. One thing, would you take him above Dr. J?
No.
I'm taking Dr. J.
Yeah.
D Wade, man, he had way too many injuries. And we saw after that championship in 06, which he was spectacular. He didn't do nothing with the Heat until LeBron got there.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then his body started falling apart.
Of course, the league changed into you got to have a running mate league, you know.
He had Shaq.
Well, yeah, but Shaq was aging, so I don't know. But yeah, I can see your point. There's about 4 guys I've seen I would take above D Wade on this list so far.
Isaiah Thomas included.
Yeah, included.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Number 20, Karl Malone. That's about right. That's about right there.
People don't realize if they did not watch during that era, he was a dominant.
Yeah.
The most dominant power forward physically I ever watched. I mean, he would train wreck people in the paint.
Yeah.
He would deliver the mailman.
His shoulders were the size of houses.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I think the only thing that separates him and Tim Duncan really is he didn't win a championship. I think if Karl Malone won 1 or 2 championships, I think he would be considered better than Tim Duncan, I believe.
Yeah.
So Charles Barkley, number 19, the round mound of rebound, probably the best pound per pound player in the game's history. That guy was a rebounding machine.
Number 19.
This
is my favorite player of all time, by the way.
Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
God dang. Okay.
I remember when he got to the Rockets, man, he got 33 boards in one game.
Hey, in the chat, Lucas says there's no way that Malone and West are better than Dwayne Wade. Jerry West? Is that... Are we talking about Jerry West?
Yeah, that's the only West I can think of. Karl Malone, he was a better player than D Wade. He's more durable than D Wade.
Yeah, it's not. I've as somebody that's consumed both players a great deal.
Yeah,
Karl was a much more dominant force.
Yeah, he was
than Dwayne Wade. Yeah.
Number 18, Jerry West.
That's not even an argument.
Jerry West went to 9 NBA finals. I know he only won 1, but he was big time. He really was.
Yeah. Legendary.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with Jerry West being right there. Dirk. Now I got a problem here. Not necessarily Dirk's ranking per se, but I'm taking Charles Barkley over Dirk.
I've got a huge problem with it.
I'm taking Karl Malone too.
I'm taking Carl. I'm taking Charles. I'm taking Jerry West before Dirk.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm taking Isaiah before Dirk.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm somebody, I like Dirk.
Me too.
But no, I'm not.
Yeah. I can't. He's too hot in.
Yeah. Much too overvalued.
Yeah. Sitting Kevin Garnett. Now, would you take him over Dirk?
Yes. I'm a Celtics fan though, so I may be the wrong person to ask, but
my problem is I'm gonna always remember Kevin Garnett as a Timberwolf. That dude couldn't even get out the first round, man.
Oh, see, yeah.
He struggled mightily in the playoffs.
But that team was trash. It was.
Yeah, I mean, but they got him Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell. They went to the Western Conference Finals. But it's kind of weird with his career. His career changed. I mean, he was basically T-Mac before he went to the Celtics.
Sprewell is undervalued, though, as a player. People don't realize he was a dog.
Yeah, he was a really good player.
The Knicks, he was a very good player. Yeah. Yeah, he was a nutcase, but Latrell was big time. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Also, Kevin Garnett over Karl Malone? No. I just noticed that.
As an objective, even as a Celtics fan, no.
All right. Kevin Durant, current player. All right. Don't know where to put him yet, but I'm going to get back to him, okay? Number 14, Kobe Bean Bryant. Not really a problem with the ranking per se, but we're going to have some other problems as we go through this.
I can't stand Kobe, but this feels low to me. I mean, he's literally maybe my most hated player in the history of the NBA. And this feels low. I hate to say it, but it does. It feels low. He was Kobe was great, dude. He was great.
We'll get back to some of these here in a minute.
Little too much of a shooter for me, but great.
He was a ball hog.
Yeah.
He didn't make teammates better.
Yeah.
He demanded a lot out of teammates, but he didn't make them better. Number 13, Akeem the Dream Olajuwon. Great player. Probably the best all-around center in NBA history.
I know you're losing your mind over this. This feels just about right for me. I don't know.
Well, it's about who's ahead of him, too. So, but Akeem, the man was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. You know, he's top 10 in steals. He's the only center in the top 10 for steals. That's insane. But he was a defensive force. And that dream shake was unstoppable.
He was a good athlete, too.
He's a great athlete. And he didn't start playing basketball until he was 17. But his footwork was so great because he played soccer. All right.
Hammer in the chat says Kevin McHale was a better post player than Karl Malone and Tim Duncan.
Oh, Hakeem and Kevin McHale, the two best post players ever. They're the two best ones in the post.
Alfred Morganroth. What's up, Alfred? Kobe and Malone are top 10. I probably wouldn't put Karl in there, but I got to tell you, and again, I can't stand Kobe, but I got to put Kobe ahead of Hakeem and David Robinson. I do.
Okay. But at least it's debatable. It's not something that's utterly ridiculous, you know?
Well, you think this is ridiculous, and I think it's just fine.
Well, David Robinson above Hakeem? Nah, bro.
I think it's really, I mean, it's 1A and 1B as far as I'm concerned. David Robinson is historically great.
Yeah, Hakeem is historically great too, and Hakeem destroyed him like I never saw another player destroy another player. Hakeem murdered this guy in the 95 Western Conference Finals. I mean, they should have arrested Hakeem for murder because it was that bad. It was insane how David Robinson could do nothing with him. Hakeem had like 3 40-point games in that series, and David Robinson had home court advantage, and he got destroyed. I'm telling you, man, I never saw a one-on-one matchup of two great players be so one-sided. Dave Robinson not better than Hakeem.
Of course, you're a Rockets fan. Let's be honest, but
I'm also a realist too. Do you think Dave Robinson is better than Hakeem? Do you honestly believe Dave Robinson is better than Hakeem?
I think it's indifferent for me. I told you they're interchangeable. I think Ewing is interchangeable with the three. I really do. I know the championships kind of set them apart, but as far as players on the court,
Hakeem beat both of them at their prime best. Dave Robinson got his championships when he was almost out of the league.
Well, Timmy came in and hooked him up. So,
all right,
I'm interested to see where he's at.
Oscar Robertson, number 11. I don't really have a problem with this. Do you?
No.
Okay, I have a bit problem right here. Steph Curry, number 10.
Oh, God.
He is not a top 10 player. I would actually have Steph Curry right now at this moment, but he's a current player. He hadn't been great enough, long enough. I'd probably have him like around, 30? 25, 30? Just because he doesn't have a big enough body of work. And
you and me are sort of the outsiders on Steph. I mean, the younger generation swear up and down this is like the greatest player to ever live, but
no.
We saw players that, there's no way I'm taking him over LeBron, over Michael. I'm not taking him over Kobe. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I'm not taking him over Hakeem and I'm I'm not.
No.
Top 40 maybe.
And this is a guy that can't defend anybody either. He's surrounded by other people that can defend, and so he won't get exposed on defense. But I already said it, man. If Steph Curry played in the 90s, he would get hurt.
I told you before we came on, or maybe we was on. If he played in the 90s, he'd be Danny Ainge.
Yeah, because they would be hand checking him to death.
Oh, but yeah,
he'd be struggling to get his shot off.
Can you imagine him trying? The Knicks would have thrown him in the crowd.
Yeah.
Literally.
Because if you look at the way he shoots his threes, he works off a lot of screens right now anyway, too. Yeah. That's the way he would have to. Yeah, he'll be a better version of Danny Ainge, Dan Marley.
In fact,
I think he'd be about a 16-point per game scorer. Probably.
We know what he would have been. He would have been Reggie Miller.
That's a good comparison right there.
Body type is very similar, but had to play in a much tougher era to get a shot off. That's what I said.
He would have got hurt. He would have been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have had a Hall of Fame career because he would be hurt. All right. Number 9, Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, not a problem.
I've got no problems with that.
Bill Russell. Okay.
That could be a little. That feels low, but okay.
But
it's so hard because, I mean, depending on what age group you talk to, I know old guys that swear up and down this is the greatest player that ever lived.
He was voted. He was voted in 1980 the greatest player in NBA history.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's hard to put context on it,
Yeah. Tim Duncan, 7, no problem there. No problem.
I'm good.
Shaq, number 6, not a problem. And I think most of the other ones we don't have problems with. Larry Bird, number 5, great player, 3-time MVP, 3 straight MVPs.
Yeah, if Charles Barkley is my favorite player, then Larry is 1A.
Can you imagine Larry Bird in today's NBA shooting behind a 3? He probably averaged 37 points a game.
Hey, and I saw Larry play in person, and it was the craziest thing. He lumbered out, and you thought, oh, God, look at this guy. He looks like he's on his deathbed. I mean, he lumbered out. He was tall, and he kind of looked, a cross between a good old boy and a Neanderthal. And you thought, this is one of the greatest players ever. And then he got on the floor, and it was like,
Yeah.
holy shit! It was like he was a ballerina all of a sudden, and was just floating around on the floor,
Yeah.
and was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth about it. Larry Bird was so good. These kids have no idea how good Larry Bird
No,
was.
they don't. Magic Johnson, number 4, not a problem. You agree, I'm assuming.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Larry's always been sort of interchangeable, but I'm okay.
Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the highest rated center on the list. Number 3. And I'll tell you this.
You know what? I think I might put Bill Russell ahead of Kareem.
Ooh, I wouldn't. I'm not putting him above Kareem.
I don't know.
Because,
Hammer says Russell 11 rings.
Yeah, he played against used car salesmen. Those guys that the guys Bill Russell were playing with, they weren't full-time athletes. These guys weren't training themselves year round. These guys had all-season jobs. So LeBron at number 2. I can really make a case Kareem above him, but I'm not making a huge deal of it. To me.
I will say this, next to, and this is strictly from a physical on the court, there's three most physically athletic, dominant players I ever watched. Barkley, Karl Malone, and LeBron James.
Yeah.
From a physical athlete standpoint.
And I'll tell you this, man. LeBron is the ultimate Band-Aid on any team. He's the ultimate Band-Aid because look at those Cleveland teams. They got one guy left Cleveland. One guy. They went from 61 wins to the lottery. I think they won 17 games by losing one guy. One. That's it. And even the Miami Heat, he left the Miami Heat, the Big 3. That team fell off a cliff. Never recovered. Didn't make the playoffs in that year.
I got to be honest with you. I wish he'd have stayed in Miami. I liked him as a member of the Heat.
Yeah, but that team was getting old.
And LeBron is hard for me because I'm so happy Cleveland got a championship. That was really cool to see. But then he joined the Lakers.
Yeah, that's probably not the team I want to finish my prime on.
And that just feels like such a cliche.
It feels like he went there for other than basketball. Because
I don't think it's a good look for the end of his career. I really don't.
They've been so poorly run. I mean, the Lakers have been LA Clippers bad, and he chose them.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather seen him went to the Knicks, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah. Number 1, Michael Jordan. Okay. Everybody knows Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
I can't believe people still have that argument between him and LeBron. I don't get it, but okay.
No, I don't think it was ever an argument to me. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. That's just the way it is. He's the GOAT, man.
Ooh, Hammer is not a LeBron guy.
Oh, really?
No way the Queen is number 2.
Well, who are you taking above him?
She's not clutch.
That LeBron not clutch thing is overblown.
He's hit some pretty big shots. Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, he scored 25 in the fourth quarter against Detroit when Detroit had a monster team.
Luca
knocked them out.
Luca asked in the chat a very interesting question. Guys, who do you think, which player is the most disrespected on this list?
Isaiah Thomas, by far. He's too low. Way too low.
Way too low. He's a top 25 player as far as I'm concerned.
Easily.
Yeah. You can make
Manu needs to be off the list.
yeah, you can make an argument that Barkley is too low. Even Karl Malone might be too low. There's a few other ones that are arguable. You know, I personally think Paul Pierce is a little low, but I'm a Celtics fan, so I understand that's, you know, I realize how trash-tastic those teams were he played on before Garnett and Ray Allen showed up. I mean, you mentioned Antoine Walker, and from a Celtics fan perspective, you might as well just
And I think Hakeem is a top 10 player, but him being at 13 doesn't really bother me. It's not like they ranked him, number 30. Now, number 30 would have been blasphemy. That's way too low. So, because this is somebody's opinion and stuff. So, it's in the ballpark.
I got to tell you, I guess, of course, I'm a Barkley guy, but I don't know. No, I guess Barkley's there. I grew up in a time though where I remember Barkley was a clear-cut top 10 player.
Were you about to say Barkley? Were you about to rank Barkley above Hakeem?
Growing up, I wouldn't even have thought about that. Barkley was the most dominant force next to Karl Malone I saw on the court from a physical standpoint. Jordan is the most dominant thing I've ever seen next to Tom Brady. So
right. And Lucas says I have Hakeem in my top 10 as well, easily. Yes, I do too.
Yeah, I did not realize people were so high on Hakeem Olajuwon. I really didn't.
Hammer Olajuwon is top 5. Yeah. People have to realize there's no other center in NBA history that can do all the things that he can do. I mean, he was stepping out. He could step out and shoot 15-footers. He's the greatest shot blocker ever. One of the best defensive centers ever. Offensive centers. He was doing it all. And you couldn't stop him.
You know what? Here's an interesting question, though. Coming off Hammer here, talking about Larry Bird owns LeBron. If you think about it, could you make an argument that Bird and Magic could be number 2?
Make them
really? I mean,
I cannot, based on what I've seen from LeBron.
Because Magic was awfully close to LeBron before LeBron.
Yeah,
their game.
I cannot take Larry Bird over LeBron. First off, LeBron was a much better defender than both of them. Larry and Magic, they weren't defenders. They didn't play defense.
Larry could be a junkyard dog on defense, though. Let's not. Yeah. Those Celtics teams played real defense. But it's kind of hard to say because back in that era, the Pistons, Knicks, and Celtics all played junkyard dog, and the Pacers all played junkyard dog defense.
Well, I think just about every team could because you can manhandle people back then.
God, I missed that.
Today, man, you'll be arrested for assault. Every time some guy falls in the court now, they're looking for the ref to blow the whistle.
Yeah. Rodman was not in the top 10. I noticed.
Huh?
Rodman. I mean, the top 50.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to say top 10. He's not top 10.
No, top 50.
He's on honorable mentions.
Yeah. I think Bulls fans probably would argue with that, but I don't know.
I wouldn't put him on the top 50.
He was a dominant rebounder.
Dominant defender.
Dominant defender.
He gave Karl Malone problems.
Major. Major.
Yeah.
Boy, the Jazz came so close that year. Byron Russell hit that shot, one of them shots. You remember that playoff series between the Jazz and the Bulls?
You mean when Michael Jordan hit that shot?
Well, Russell had hit a big shot in that series too. There's highlights of that shot out there.
Yeah. But the thing is, people forget, before Michael Jordan hit that shot and did that, the play before that, he stripped Karl Malone. And that's what set up the shot because the Bulls were down.
Yep.
So Jordan was, so many clutch moments from him.
You know what's funny too? Jordan for me was a lot like Brett Favre was for me, and even Tom Brady. For the great majority of their careers, or at least the first half of their careers,
Mm-hmm.
I hated them. I hated Michael Jordan. I did. Every time they got in the finals against somebody else, I rooted for them.
Mm-hmm.
But then as Jordan aged, I started respecting him more and more. And then guess what? I started rooting for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, come on, Jordan. Come on, Jordan. I hated Brett Favre with a passion. A passion. And do you know now? He's my second favorite player of all time.
Brett Favre?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Those last, say, 7 years that he played, I rooted for Brett Favre.
Yeah.
As long as he wasn't playing my Niners, I was pulling for Brett Favre. Couldn't stand Tom Brady. Now, I mean, come on, Tom. You know.
Let me ask you something about this. Skip Bayless had brought this up. You probably heard this before. He said between Michael Jordan and Tom Brady that Tom Brady is the most clutch player ever because he's had so many more opportunities than Michael Jordan. And when you're in the playoffs, every game is a game 7. Is he more clutch? And I had to think about this, man. It's tough, man. It's tough. The man's been in 9 Super Bowls. He's had all 6 have been game-winning drives. And actually, the one he didn't win against Eli, he threw the game-winning touchdown pass. I mean, in the NFL playoffs, it's so different. You have 7 games in the NBA. So I understand where he's coming from with that. But, man, I really don't know.
For the longest time, I never thought it was close. I always thought Jordan was the greatest athlete ever. Championships, the whole 9, dominant force. It is highly arguable between him and Brady now.
It is. It is.
And I thought Jordan, he's got so many epic moments in the playoffs. But I have never witnessed anything like I saw
against Atlanta in the Super Bowl.
Brady in the second half against Atlanta in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That is the single greatest feat I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. You know? And I've watched the Cowboys, the great Cowboys teams and the great Niners teams and the Bulls, the Celtics, the Lakers. Yankees. I'm a huge Yankees fan.
Yeah.
And there were epic moments in the late 90s and early 2000s with the Yankees. That is the single greatest feat I've ever witnessed.
You know, one game that sticks out to me about Brady, and this game he actually lost, but you knew what he was. The year that Denver won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady's offensive line did do nothing. He was getting lit up the whole game, getting hit everywhere by that Denver defense in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew they needed a touchdown to have a chance to tie. Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does. Marched him right down the field.
I know it.
Scored the touchdown. I was like, you knew it was going to happen. But they needed a 2-point conversion, though. They didn't get that. But you knew that Tom Brady was going to drive them down and get that touchdown because they needed it. That's what separates him, I think, from so many players. And Jordan, you know, the Bulls need a huge bucket. Yeah. You know, and people try to use that against Brady. Oh, Adam Vinatieri hit the field goal. It's like Michael Jordan didn't hit all the game-winning shots. Steve Kerr hit a game-winning championship shot.
Yeah.
John Paxson hit a game-winning championship shot.
Yeah.
Adam Vinatieri is not driving the Patriots down the field. He's not kicking a 100-yard field goal. And I think if Brady actually had more time on the clock, he could have drove them down and got a touchdown. but he's against the clock. So you got to kick the field goal.
Right.
So I'm not going to use that against him. That's the Rob Parker mentality.
And far as older players that I ended up respecting and pulling for, I never felt that way about Peyton Manning. I couldn't stand him ever. I rooted against Peyton for his entire. Something about Peyton never resonated with me as a player, and I don't. And I'll tell you what it was. It was because of Brady that I did not like Manning, because there was something about Brady or about Manning. He lacked a clutch gene in there somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
That Brady had, and that I had seen other quarterbacks have. Montana, even Young, Aikman had it. A clutchness. Favre had it. But Peyton didn't, for whatever reason, and it drove me nuts, because I thought Peyton should have won like 5 Super Bowls, and he won one, and then he limped his way to the second one.
Yeah. You want to know something, man? I heard something on the radio today that absolutely shocked me to death. I was out early this morning, and I was listening to Chris Broussard. I sent you that link to that video.
I hadn't checked it out.
You hadn't checked it out. Okay.
No. What
Chris Broussard was roasting Rob Parker about
that's not hard.
About Aaron Rodgers. He dropped a stat on me that absolutely shocked me about Aaron Rodgers. You're not even going to believe this. He said since 2012, Aaron Rodgers against teams with winning records. You know what his record is? 5-23.
Wow.
And not only that, Aaron Rodgers, when his team is down by 1 point, I think he said 1 point in the fourth quarter. It's some kind of stat, some crazy stat. He's like 0-40. It's insane.
You watched that game the other night, correct?
Yeah, not all of it.
Okay.
I went to bed because it was kind of late.
What I will tell you is Aaron played a hell of a game in the second half. He did. It was one of his better games in a long time.
Yeah, but he got intercepted and he lost a fumble.
And I know, but you can tell the offense is starting to. I was pretty surprised. You know, Cowherd's pretty critical of Aaron.
Yeah. But
he said it was one of the top 3 games he's ever seen Rodgers play.
The media will continue to make excuses for him. Rob Parker's already making excuses for him.
Yeah, but Colin don't.
I heard Colin Cowherd. Broke
his foot off in Aaron's ass a few times.
But let me tell you where the expectations are with him versus Brady. If Brady was in that same situation, what would the media say?
Oh, I mean, we would just expect Brady to do it, you know. But you saw the other night the reason I picked the Eagles to win their division too. I think the Eagles are a very good team, very good team.
Yeah,
you know. So, all right, guys, we got a live stream like 15 hours from now.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We really appreciate you guys coming out. Top 50 NBA players of all time by Bleacher Report is absolutely ridiculous, man. But we're going to be live tomorrow morning, giving our picks for the NFL games. We're already 0-1 because we actually picked the Thursday night game. That's another story. So,
do you know how unlucky we are? That was Aaron's first loss at home when he had been leading at one point in the game. They gave a stat. He was 50-0-1 and we lost the one.
Yeah. And they were up 13-0.
That he had led by more than 10 points. That was it at home.
Oh, okay.
He had never lost. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Be safe. Have a good night. We'll catch you next time.
Peace. We're out.
Till next time.